So welcome everybody. I am here with Marsha Crossman, one of our local runners and one of our, I would call endurance athletes within the city, and one of the national representatives of MitoCanada. Welcome, Marsha.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Let's start a little bit. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your relationship with running.
Sure. Marsha Crossman. I live here in Regina. I would say my running career started about 10 years ago. I started to take an interest in running just as a activity for fitness. I learned to run with the running room, and then at the same time my hubby also started taking up running. So him and I did a lot of stuff together, that was about 10 years ago, and we've been participating in the QCM event in one form or another, whether it's volunteering or participating, in quite a few of those years.
So not a long history there of 10 years. I mean, I think of some of the things I've watched or heard you do,
yeah.
and the distances that you guys accomplish daily, weekly, annually for 10 years in. That's absolutely incredible. Very, very impressive. What got you guys started with running?
I think it's very important to have for John and I, to have a healthy lifestyle. So we just wanted to try something new. We've both been involved in sports our whole life, but neither one of us had really taken any kind of interest in running. So our social circle kind of expanded, and I think we heard about all these different events. It sounded pretty cool, and we wanted to be a part of it. So we both kind of started at the same time.
Awesome. And I mean, I think that's a common thing for a lot of us, as we've looked at it and really said it's an important thing for lifestyle.
Right.
And really that's what stuck with a lot of us. I know that's for myself, kind of how I got involved very similarly. My parents were runners, and it was a nice lifestyle thing to be able to do with them. Thinking about the running that you've done and kind of where you're going with it, are there any goals that you've set out for yourself for the next year, couple of years, that you'd like to accomplish with your running career?
Well, my story has a little bit of a twist to it. I would say I got involved with running, and I'm definitely not speedy. I'm more of I would call a casual runner. I started to feel, just health-wise, like something wasn't working out, something wasn't feeling right with running, and just kind of activities in general. So long story short, I became involved with a charity called MitoCanada as a result of a diagnosis that I received called mitochondrial disease. And basically, movement is key. Movement is medicine to being able to manage this dysfunction. So I think that that kind of kept me going. It kept me pushing, and it helped me continue on with this journey of running.
Excellent. Can you expand a little bit more on that in terms of your diagnosis and how running has become a kind of a piece of that?
Absolutely. So mitochondrial disease has many forms. There's primary and there's secondary. So I have a secondary mitochondrial dysfunction, which is called mitochondrial disease. Basically, my muscles don't get the glycogen that is stored and used for energy like everybody else. Sometimes it's often compared to, when marathoners hit the wall, they're depleted. Well, that's kind of how I start. So I don't have that energy right off the bat. So that's really the only comparison that I can give. But all the, so part of an active lifestyle, and the recommendation for, I guess, management is, like I said, movement, activity, and I chose running, jogging, I'll say, as part of that. So I use running and I use sport and general fitness for a healthy lifestyle.
Excellent.
To manage.
No, that's quite interesting. I mean, it really helps kind of, I think, hopefully people understand that we all do it for slightly different reasons. And that's a really big piece. It's not just about general health, but sometimes there are specific reasons that it can be beneficial to other things as well. Right. In terms of what you've accomplished so far, are there things that you would kind of have proud moments, something you look back at for the last 10 years and go, wow, that was absolutely incredible?
Yeah, I would say 4 years ago, I did a 50-kilometer trail race in Spruce Woods, Manitoba. And yeah, I was pretty proud of that accomplishment. Yeah, it was nice. And my running club, Marathon Matters, a lot of the members were also out there with me, and it was a good moment because when I came in, it was, you know, near the end, but nonetheless I finished. They were all, a lot of them were sitting there waiting for me, and were able to, you know, come in to finish with me, and that meant a lot to me.
That leads really to my next question about your running community. So you mentioned Marathon Matters, the club that you've partnered with or worked with here. How would you describe the community that you run with? And both, I guess I would ask, locally as well as nationally, because I think you have some links right across the national stage with some of the running that's going on.
Yeah, so yeah, the two groups. So locally, Marathon Matters Run Club, they have been incredibly supportive. They're always right on board with any kind of you know, fundraising event that I'm doing, if it's a run or walk, for MitoCanada. So that the group is incredibly supportive, all levels, and whatever you're, you know, how fast or how slow you are, it's a great group to be a part of. So MitoCanada is a Canadian charity, and it was started in 2009 by some folks in Calgary, and kind of a chapter under, I guess, an umbrella of MitoCanada is Team Mito. So Team Mito uses sport to create awareness, do some fundraising for people who are impacted by mitochondrial disease. So given that we do a lot of sporting events with Team Mito, I've got to, you know, it's kind of neat to be at the same kind of events as these world-class athletes and these running events. It's like, it's crazy. I've met some incredible people who've done a lot of, who've had some pretty big accomplishments. So, yeah.
Now, with that MitoCanada and with the running that you guys are doing, I guess I have a question. When are we going to see the battery running at the Queen City Marathon?
Oh, Blaine Penny. Yeah, he has done, I think he did the Scotiabank Marathon in that for a Guinness record. And it, from what I hear, that's like to run in almost a full size like battery costume. Yeah, I think he did it in a, you know, very quick time. I'll work on that.
We could even get the costume out, and maybe you or John could wear it for
Maybe,
one of the 5Ks.
yeah.
That would be really cool. I mean, the costumes are always fun, but you're right. They're awkward to run in, and they can get really hot.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you might see John running around here, and I'm hoping people maybe have seen him. He's doing a major project in support of MitoCanada right now. Starting June 1st, he has been on a journey running across Canada virtually, from Tofino to St. John's, Newfoundland. And I think he's just under 2,000 kilometers now, just, you know, near Swift Current area, virtually. And so he's been out there every day with his project. He's called it the Faces of Mito. So on mitocanada.org, you can see more about his information, but also we are, as part of this project, where we've interviewed people from each province that are impacted by the disease or the group of disorders. So not just, it's patients, caregivers, family members, physicians, a variety of people. So every week or so, a face of Mito is highlighted. And so that was a very important thing to John, and he's given her. So for more information on that, like I said, social media or mitocanada.org.
Super, super cool. And I mean, something I know I'm watching and kind of paying attention to his virtual travel. And during this summer, when running has been a little bit more restricted in terms of where we can go, I think it's interesting that he's working on that, because I think there are a lot of people out there active in running this summer, potentially even more so than they have in the past, because we've got a little bit more time to get out there and do things. So it's exciting to follow him and watch that. I know you guys are doing a little bit of work with Dave Proctor as well. Do you want to talk about Outrun Rare at all?
Outrun Rare, yeah. Dave Proctor's, he's always got all sorts of events on the go. Their big one is they have a backyard ultra style. So it's the last man standing loop run. I think it's just under 7 kilometers a loop until there's one person. It's every hour on the hour, the loop, until one person's the last man standing, so, or woman standing. So yeah, they've got that every, I think this year it was in July. So that's another great rare disease foundation, and now Run Rare is two other great organizations.
You're doing some great work in the running community in terms of bringing light to some organizations and some people's conditions that probably don't get highlighted as much as some of the other things that we see daily or are much more common. I think that's very, very important work you guys are doing within the communities here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it keeps me motivated to keep moving. And QCM this year, this is the first year I've done the 5K. I've done the half marathon walk, but this year is the first year I'm doing the 5K, so it's good.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I know last year Mito was helping out with the Night Owl in terms of the water station, so there was lots of Mito presence at last year's race. So we're excited that you guys are still part of it virtually this year.
I just wanted to comment actually on that. Because of that QCM connection and the Team Mito, I was able to, or a person who just come in for their package pickup, stopped by our table, and her son had just been diagnosed with mitochondrial disease. So this was like so super coincidental for her, and because of that connection, she's been involved in the community so much with all of our events, and it's a sense of support and community for her as well. So, and we've also connected her with another family who's got the same diagnosis, which is very rare.
I'm glad we could play a small part in that and connect. So it's some of the connections that get made in events like a Queen City Marathon. People don't always realize it. They think about it as just the running piece, but there's actually so many things going on there. I mean, 6,000-7,000 people around on race weekend. It's interesting the connections that do get made. So it's really neat to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were to give advice to someone getting started running, or someone who's maybe lapsed their running over the last couple of years, or even someone who's out there on a regular basis pounding the pavement, what's the best advice you can give to those runners?
Well, I think for everyone beginning, or people who are far longer experienced than me, just consistency. Make it a habit as part of your daily, weekly activity, and just keep moving. Movement we sometimes take for granted, so I think keep movement is medicine, and run or walk or participate for those who can't.
Awesome. No, I think that's some great advice there. I know it's something I've tried this summer more especially than most to do myself, so I appreciate hearing that, and it's something that hopefully people who are watching can use on their daily kind of decisions of whether they're going to go out or not go out. So thank you. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm just looking forward to the Friday night, and I hope it's good weather.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Marsha. And we will be watching for you out there virtually on your race day this year, and wishing you and John great success in all of the Mito things that you're doing this summer, and I'm sure for many years to come.
Yep, you bet. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.